Naglabas po tayo today ng Executive Order number 3, allowing voluntary wearing of face masks in outdoor settings and reiterating the continued implementation of minimum public health standards during the state of public health emergency relating to the COVID-19 pandemic. So ito na po yung ina-announce ng DOH ng voluntary wearing of face masks outdoors in non-crowded places, provided kung kayo ay immunocompromised, seniors, or hindi kumpleto ang bakuna, kailangan pa rin po mag-face mask or strongly encouraged ang face masks. Voluntary wearing of face masks in open spaces and non-crowded outdoor areas with good ventilation is hereby allowed, provided that not fully vaccinated individuals, senior citizens, and immunocompromised individuals are highly encouraged to wear their masks, and physical distancing will be observed at all times. So meron pa rin tayong physical distancing. Face masks shall continue to be worn in indoor, private, or public establishments, including in public transportation, by land, air, or sea, and in outdoor settings where physical distancing cannot be maintained. Tuloy pa rin po ang other minimum public health standards intended to effectively prevent and minimize the spread of COVID-19 in the country. It shall continue to be implemented consistent with the principles of shared accountability, evidence-based decision-making, socioeconomic equity, and rights-based approach. In this regard, the DOH is directed to update the MPHS guidelines with the issuance of this order. In addition to that, we're happy to announce that we are 6% away from the wall of immunity. That's why we're malakas na ang loob natin for face masks.
Just a clarification on the face mask EO. When will it be implemented?
It's immediately. This order shall take effect immediately upon its publication in the OG or newspaper of general circulation. Nasa OG na po siya.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what made the President approve the recommendation for the voluntary wearing of face mask?
He had imposed a condition, and one of that is the establishment of the wall of immunity. Since we are 6% away from that, then it's time. So we're doing this in stages, in phases, so that we also don't, so that we can have feedback on whether or not these new policies are working and how to make them more efficient, so that hopefully by the end of the year we might be able to have to be voluntarily masked indoors as well. We'll need the feedback if the voluntary masks outdoors is going to contribute to something, then of course the policy will again be reviewed.
Secretary, kasi merong conditions na sinet yung EO, there should be good ventilation. So,
Yes.
who will set the standards? Who determines what is a good ventilation? Meron bang mga ganung mga rules na isa-set?
We assume so because there is some discretion of the local governments to establish minimum standards for the imposition. However, in general, what does good ventilation mean? May opportunities, for instance, na crowded. So even if it is outdoors, hindi good ventilation yon, and you're in each other's faces. So without the possibility of social distancing, then this would be considered also as part of not of the requirement. Kasi yung requirement, there must be, it shouldn't be too crowded. So there are also instances now you would consider outdoors. What do we consider as outdoors? In some instances, you consider outdoors, okay lang roof, pero walang walls. Okay? In other instances, some people place the, like for example, under the no smoking law, in some instances, pagka sinabi mong outdoors, kailangan walang bubong. So it will be determined, normally things like these are determined by the local government kasi sila po ang enforcement in these instances.
So the local governments will play a key role in implementing this executive order, especially yung standard sa mga spaces na gano'n.
That's usually the case even in all of the laws or legislation that we created pursuant to COVID. It was always the local government that has set the standards, except for those benefits that were given by the national agencies.
Pero do you see the need for a unified standard? Kasi baka mamaya yung sa isang lugar,
I agree.
yung outdoor nila iba. So, do you
That's
think
why-
kailangan po ng national government na
Well,
mag-set
let's
sila
see
ng
how it
iisa?
works. Diba? That's the reason we're doing it in phases, so that we have a feedback mechanism. We continue to listen to the people, what the needs are, and particularly also to understand that local needs also differ. So we have to balance the creation of a uniform standard with the needs of the locals.
Can we clarify dun sa EO? Kasi nabanggit po ni Yusek Vergere kanina doon sa Congress that they agreed to make masking to be optional only for those who are non-vulnerable.
That's what it says here. Who are vulnerable? Senior citizens, immunocompromised, those with no complete immunization.
So, ibig sabihin, ma'am, it's still mandatory for them to wear masks outdoors.
The executive order says highly encouraged. So it will be, well, that's what it says there. So I think we may have to work that out with the USEC.
Thank you po.